1991, but our work and our information about our work had preceded 91. When I was fascinated by her. If you grew up in the 1950s and the 60s, you did not have an icon. As a woman, you had no icon. Because in the post-independence period, women had been failed by women and men leaders. So here was this lady that I had heard of by the end of 1979. By then, I think, or early January 1980, when this letter had come already. And she was one of the signatories. I knew a group of young women. I was kind of insider, outsider with that group. They were mainly radiounionist women, left women, who were the first to take up gender issues. Vibhuti mentioned that group when she spoke. And I felt, they're very good, they're doing very good work, but I'm kind of their supporter. It was with that letter that I realized that I could never be an outside supporter of women's movement. As a woman, I was there for women, and not because I was, for instance, an upper class woman supporting the working class struggle. It could never be like that. And that letter did it for me. So I am personally grateful to Lotika Di and the three others who wrote that letter. When I saw Lotika Di, there she was, an icon for me. But I feel shy with icons. I cannot meet them. I cannot really interact with them. I get too overwhelmed by them. Also, I had no reason to be close to her because the main focus that I had decided in my life was to work through my mother tongue, my mother language, Gujarati, and to explore that community and its history and various other things in context of women's liberation. So I didn't have to, of course, I was aware of her. When I saw her first, I was impressed by how quiet she was. You know, there we were a noisy bunch of people, shouting and much as I loved her, Dr. Veena Mazumdar, and they were great friends, but a greater contrast couldn't have existed. You know. Veena just pushing my head, getting hold of microphone and speaking out, and you know, this lady sitting quietly, and you see her in the corridor, she's smoking with a holder. And you know, most of us had never seen a woman with a holder, except Nadira and some Raj Kapoor films. And she was such an utter contrast to that image. And I thought of her, and I saw her, and I saw her speaking gently, using words exactly, without emphasizing or giving a big production of how precisely she's using that language. None of those politics of language, none of those personal politics of any kind. And I thought of her as somebody, I thought maybe she's a product of Bengal Renaissance. You know, really I thought of that. And you know, with a tinge of this nationalism and Tagore and so on, but she's somebody very special. But as I said, I never met. I met her several times. I saw her several times afterwards because Dr. Neera Desai would always invite her. So many of us got to meet these great stalwarts because of this research unit which had existed even before the year for women was announced by United Nations. And Neera Desai had also worked on the report of Committee on Status of Women. So that is how we got started. And all these people, Dr. Lotika Sarkar, Dr. Veena Banerjee, Vinadi, and Dr. Neera Desai and others were very, very clear that in the women's movement, research and action combined. Your academic work and your activism were two sides of the same movement, liberation. That is when I met, for instance, C.S. Lakshmi, and great writer, researcher, curator of a big, large archives on women's. But there she was, also dancing, singing, participating in some theatre production that we'd all put up together, or sitting, I remember, on a staircase and showing us the first calendar she had brought out, women's calendar. So this was the kind of moment, and I'm eternally grateful to Lotika that she was one of the initiators of a movement where there was no division like Brahmins and Bhangis, those who study and those who act, who work. And that is the sort of thing she represented. I don't know what went into making of somebody like her. But even today I'm very moved, I'm very touched. I feel as if I was there, Especially when people talk of how she had these nephews and nieces and a whole lot of younger people who were in no way related to her. I don't know if she had any children, I think not. But apart from her nephews and nieces, she left through her work this impact she had with this thing she started. But she was one of the people who started creation, coming up of so many women's groups and women's studies groups all over India, that she has left behind thousands of daughters and several hundred sons. So I salute Lotika today.